let's talk about AI in marketing. Because, it isn't some far-off sci-fi concept anymore. It's here, it's happening right now, and it is totally changing the game for the best teams out there. And the secret? They're not working harder, they're working smarter. So let me just ask you this, and be honest. With budgets getting tighter and expectations going through the roof, is your team just working harder, or are you actually finding ways to work smarter? Because that's the exact problem that AI is perfectly positioned to solve. And hey, if you think this is just some niche trend, you might want to look at this number. A staggering 94% of organizations are already using AI in their marketing. 94! This isn't about getting an edge anymore. It's about just staying in the race. Okay, so here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna follow a campaign that's powered by AI from start to finish. We'll start with strategy and the creative spark, then move into personalization at a massive scale. And finally, we'll close the loop with optimization and that all-important human touch. First up, the Work Smarter revolution. The whole idea is simple, but wow, is it powerful. Think of AI as a force multiplier for your team. It lets you amplify your impact without needing more people or a bigger budget. So how does it actually do all this? Well, it really boils down to 4 key jobs. First, it automates the boring, repetitive stuff. Then, it analyzes mountains of data for hidden clues. Next, it personalizes content for every single user. And finally, it's constantly optimizing your campaigns in real time. We're going to see these 4 pillars in action as we go. Let's start at the very beginning of any campaign, strategy. This is where AI is changing things from guesswork into a science. You're building a blueprint based on actual data, not just gut feelings. You know the old way of doing market research, right? It could take weeks, and you'd probably still miss some subtle patterns. Well, now, AI can tear through that same data in minutes, uncovering hidden trends and even helping predict what's going to happen next. It's a whole new world. And this isn't just some theory. The efficiency gains are just incredible. One agency said their research phase became 10 times faster after they brought in AI. 10 times. Just imagine for a second what your team could do with all that time back. All right, so you've got a killer strategy locked in. Time to execute. This is where AI becomes this powerful engine, speeding up not just how you make content, but how you get it to the perfect audience. Here's a brilliant creative example. Heinz had a theory that when people think of ketchup, they basically picture Heinz. So to prove it, they didn't do a boring survey. They just went to an AI image generator and typed one word, ketchup. The results? Almost every single image looked like their iconic bottle. It was incredible. And this wasn't just a clever stunt. The results were huge. The campaign got over 850 million impressions and a 38% higher engagement rate. It's a perfect example of how AI doesn't replace creativity. It proves it out and makes it even bigger. Beyond the big creative ideas, AI is also the quiet workhorse doing all the marketing automation. It handles the logistical heavy lifting, scheduling your posts, sending emails, adjusting ad bids on the fly, which frees up your team to focus on the big picture. And now for the big payoff for all this data and automation. Personalization. AI makes it possible to give unique one-to-one experiences to millions of people all at once. That's something that was just, pure science fiction a few years ago. So why does this matter so much? Because it goes straight to the bottom line. Companies that use AI for personalization see their sales conversions jump by an average of 20%. It just makes sense. When marketing feels like it was made just for you, you're way more likely to act on it. A perfect real-world example of this is Starbucks and their Deep Brew AI. It doesn't just remember your last order. It looks at your whole history, where you are right now, and even the weather. So on a cold afternoon, it might just pop up with an offer for a hot latte. The result? More sales and happier, more loyal customers who feel like Starbucks just gets them. So your campaign's running, it's personalized, but you're not done. It doesn't stop there. AI analytics closes the loop, creating this real-time feedback system that lets you constantly learn and get better. And what's the ultimate impact on the bottom line? Marketers who are leading the pack with AI, they're seeing a remarkable 60% greater revenue growth than their peers. That's not a small gap. That is a massive competitive advantage, all driven by making smarter, data-backed decisions. But here's the real opportunity. A huge 89% of marketers agree that AI is critical, but only about half of them feel like they're actually using it well. That gap, the space between knowing you need it and actually doing it right, that's where the biggest wins are waiting. Okay, let's wrap up with the most important part of this whole thing. This is not about technology replacing people. The winning formula, the real magic, is when you combine the best of human insight with the raw power of AI. It really is a partnership, a dream team. The human marketer brings the strategy, the creative spark, the empathy, the vision. The AI partner brings the speed, the scale, and the analysis, the execution. You put those two together, and you get campaigns that are both emotionally powerful and ruthlessly data-driven. The best way to think about it is really simple. AI is your co-pilot, not the pilot. The human marketer is still in the captain's seat, making the calls and providing that critical judgment and strategic direction that a machine just can't replicate. So, we'll just leave you with this thought. The data is clear. Your competitors are already using AI to get faster and more effective. So the only question left is, are you?